This next poem is very different from the last two when you look at it. There's a lot of things that jump out. We'll talk about them in a minute. So this one's called Afternoon Beach. Home is hot. The family fries until we summon the energy to pull on stretchy suits, grab towels, and pile into the car, which is an oven. We drive until the roar of waves taunts us from a parking lot. On the beach, sand and sun blaze hot, but welcome breezes play with my hair until I pull it back away from their grasp. I shed shorts and shirt and sprint to the water. I push my way out against crashing waves and dive into the pure, cool, salty pleasure. Silence. Silence until I surface. The roar of ocean fills my ears. I stand, wipe salt from my eyes, and dive through a wave, then ride the next as it races to shore. I get knocked flat, float over more waves, let them push me, pull me, take me wherever they want to go. I dive over, under, through. I lose the time. And suddenly, I've lost the time. We need to leave. I stagger onto the fiery sand and wait for my land legs to return. My hair is salty. My skin is sticky as I survey my crashing waves, my ocean sky, my blue beneath blue. So, why does this look so different? Let's talk about some of the formats and the form elements that the author used. So, first of all, lots of run on lines. And you can just look at this poem and look at the way things are spaced and know you can't stop and pause at the ends of these lines, or it's not going to make sense because we've got all of these little snippets that are moved all over the page. Another one, obviously, that's coming into play, this is a concrete poem. Now, you may think of concrete poems from elementary school as the poem about the sun that's shaped like a sun, or a poem about a flower that's shaped like a flower, but this is different. Okay, so we're using concrete poems here and concrete elements not to make the whole poem that shape, but to show different shapes of things that are happening. For example, where it says, let the waves, let them push me, pull me, you can see the person kind of being pushed and pulled in the waves, or you can see us diving into pure, cool, salty pleasure. You can see that dive down, and that's why it's shaped that way. So, definitely, shape is impacting our understanding. It's just not that literal shape of the sun or a flower that we might have seen when we were younger. Obviously, then they're using lots of dropped lines. Remember, a dropped line is just indented underneath another. So you can see a few places where there's a dropped line that describes more in detail the line that's right above it. So Tonsas tells us more about that roar of waves. Blaze hot tells us more about the sand and sun. So it helps organize the details so that as a reader, we can understand what is what the meaning is. And then the last thing is they just use some unique syntax here. So you can see a few places where they squish together words. Obviously, dive through a wave isn't one word, but it tells you how fast they're moving. And in fact, that makes the whole section of the poem right here pace a little bit more quickly. The other thing that I'm sure you already noticed was parallel structure, where we have things like push me, pull me, that's parallel. Or we have things like over, under, through. It's just a whole list of adverbs here that are showing us where we're going. So that helps us have those images to help us understand what's happening in the poem. So definitely, this author uses form very differently, but also very effectively to help us picture what that afternoon at the beach was like for him or her.